We want to turn now over to our forecast as some storms are rolling into the state, and we want to get you ready if you got some plans outside for that.
Yeah, especially over on the western side of the state. Now, a little active and it's drifting toward Indy. Okay. So hoping we can get this in and out early and then we can enjoy the rest of our Saturday. Sure. I think between now and the lunch hour, though, things are going to be a little dicey. So a heads up there. As we take it out, we've got this boundary that's stalled south of us, but we've got this kind of upper level low pressure system that's developed along that boundary. I'll show you where that's at, but it's really what has prompted some of this new development here over in central Illinois, which is what is now tracking into our area. So let's zoom in a little closer and put this into motion over the past 45 minutes or so. Past couple radar scans still picking up on some lightning strikes that have developed just across that Indiana-Illinois border, tracking into portions of Vermilion County up into Fountain County and Warren County as well. So not a ton of lightning. This is not severe, hasn't been severe. However, it's not moving very quickly, and we do have a lot of excess moisture in the atmosphere, so potentially could see some areas of localized flooding while this is slowly tracking off to the east-southeast. Have a few lightning strikes just to the south of Terre Haute, so we're going to continue to monitor that complex that is situated across the western portions of the state of Indiana. Here's where that boundary is situated, right there near the Ohio River Valley, and you can kind of see near St. Louis, we've got a little bit of some weak upper level rotation, meaning we've got this low pressure zone and a lot of that moisture developing on the northern extent of that kind of upper level low. That's what is bringing our rain in for us this morning. So we're going to continue to monitor where the heaviest of this is. Lots of these flash flood warnings just to our south. I do see the potential of an isolated stronger storm mainly across the very far southern tier of the state today. We've got that level 2 risk zone closer to Evansville. It's a level 1 basically elsewhere from Indianapolis across the southern half of the state. So primary threat today, we really think it's going to be some heavier rainfall that could lead to some localized flash flooding. We'll see some off and on showers between now and the lunch hour today. More dry time, though, as we get into this afternoon. That will allow the temperature to climb back into the low 80s around the Indy metro and elsewhere into the upper 70s. So the cloud cover, the off and on rain for today, really going to limit much of a warming trend this afternoon. We're going to be below average later today. So let's walk you through the timeline between now and about noon. Again, that complex we're watching in western Indiana slowly going to drift across the state. That takes us to noon and then a little farther into the afternoon. This is at 4 p.m. Still could be monitoring some isolated downpours, I think mostly along and south of I-70 as we go through this afternoon. And then this evening, another ripple in the atmosphere could trigger a few pop-up storms, primarily between about 6 and 9 p.m. This takes us through 8 o'clock. And then once the sun goes down, we lose some of that atmospheric energy. So a lot of that's just going to rain itself out. I think we'll be in pretty good shape post about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. And not everybody is going to see that secondary round of storms this evening. So we'll keep at least a 30% chance of perhaps a few lingering storms in the vicinity, especially if you're headed up to Ruoff tonight. Temperatures in the low 80s, falling back into the upper 70s by 10 p.m. So the later in the evening we get, better chance we have to stay completely dry. Now into tomorrow, this whole system's going to continue to shove south. That will allow more sunshine, especially during the second half of the day tomorrow, and that will allow temperatures to be a little warmer, bringing back some of that sun. But I'll tell you, the dew point stays low 60s. It's going to feel pretty good to go along with that sunshine. Got this northeast breeze that'll be in place for tomorrow, mid to upper 80s for highs as that boundary continues to sink even farther off to the south. So I think we're going to be looking pretty good for Sunday. Even Monday looks pretty good as we await a heat dome that's expected to build in. I think Monday will be that transitional day to some slightly hotter air. And then eventually throughout next week, lots of days in the low 90s. The dew point's going to jump up as well. So going to be hot and humid starting on Tuesday, lasting through the end of next week.